So if you're a restaurant that's doing takeout, you know that your customers are appreciative. You know that they're thankful, that they're grateful that you're still providing this service throughout all this crisis. And you, just like my guys, just like my team, are an essential worker. You're essential in this. People need food. People need to know that they are going to be taken care of if they have to stay home. What is going on, all you essential people out there? This is the Food Service Distribution Podcast. I'm your host, David Layton, and today I'm going to talk about a few things that are probably top of your mind. I'm going to also finish with a very positive note, a note that one of our drivers found on his truck this afternoon that just made everybody in my company's day. Hopefully it will make yours. Today is Friday, the 17th of April, and we are done with another crazy week. So first thing I wanted to touch base on is something in the news, and it'll help to answer the question that I have been asking restaurants, that restaurants have been asking me, that we've just been talking about nonstop, and that is, when is my dining room going to open? The short answer is nobody knows. The longer answer is, yesterday the Trump administration came out and said that they are going to start opening the economy in phases. So phase 1 is going to be dine-in restaurants. Dining rooms are going to open. It could be in May. It could be further out, but we should get the green light to do that sometime in May. So we're looking at between 2 to 4 weeks, we will probably start to open up dining rooms, and things will be different. We've been talking about when things get back to normal. This is what we're going to experiment with, is getting back to a new normal. That means you'll see a lot more employees sanitizing, wearing gloves, wearing masks, no open containers, everything's individually wrapped. It'll look a little bit different, but we want to do that to make sure that customers are feeling safe as they come into dining rooms. And it's going to be a pretty cool experiment. Well, it'll be an experiment nonetheless. So that will probably be rolled out in 29 states. That's 29 states that have agreed to jump into this. So you're probably paying attention to your local news, depending on where you are in the country or where you are in the world, to see that if your local region is planning on opening their dining rooms in the next few weeks or few months, whatever it looks like. If you're on the West Coast or the East Coast, I should say Northeast, you're probably going to open up a little bit later. Originally, the West Coast governors got together and formed a pact to open together when they felt it appropriate. And there's been some back and forth on whether the 29 states that have agreed to open together in a phase 1 are going to open before or after these coastal states that wanted to open together. So we'll see. Again, the short answer is nobody really knows, but there are some phases that are being discussed, and the rollout plan should be finalized, or at least close to finalized, by next week. Every other day, there's something new that comes out about this, so it's really hard to tell when we're going to actually get that green light. But the key is to make sure that if you are an operator and you're waiting to open, do it on your own terms. Make sure that you feel safe and that you want your customers to feel safe coming and dining at your restaurant. Of course, phase 2 is the bar. Same thing for bar owners. If you're going to open your bar, make sure that you're doing it in a way that people feel like they're not touching dirty surfaces. They're not going to bump into other people and potentially contract a flu or a corona type virus from your restaurant. Obviously, that's basic cleanliness. Make sure that everything's clean. But outside of that, you're going to have to put some other cleaning and safety precautions in place. Not sure entirely what that looks like depending on your individual unique restaurant and bar. It might look different than a taco place or a pizza place. All right, so that's all I'll say on that. Sorry that wasn't incredibly helpful, but that's all the information that we're getting at this time. So number 2 is a resource. The resource is an event, a webinar, online webinar, and it came out today, the first series, or the first part of a 2-part lessons in leadership during a crisis. So the speakers, I was incredibly impressed by the lineup here. So it's presented by Nation's Restaurant News, Restaurant Hospitality, Food Management. I think there were a couple more in there. Sorry if I missed you. And the speakers from today were Alice Elliott, founder and CEO of the Elliott Group. The Elliott Group they have been recognized as one of the foremost advisors in executive search, human resources, leadership. So Alice has been in the business for a long time. She's been featured by QSR Magazine, by all different types of media outlets as one of the most successful and influential restaurant leaders in our industry. So definitely a great resource. Second person, Michael Anzalou, is the CEO of Portillo's Hot Dogs. I don't know much about him, but looking through his background, he used to be the CEO of P.F. Chang's. He's been in the business for a long time with Kraft Heinz, Caesars. He's had high profile roles in major chains and corporations, and again has had all types of awards and accolades over his leadership, and now focuses all of his time on the restaurant industry. Third speaker, CEO, co-founder of Upward Project. That's Lauren Bailey. Phoenix-based hospitality group. Very impressive individual as well. So what I'm trying to get across here is that we have these online resources that are absolutely free that you can register for. Side note, I'm not affiliated with any of this, and the link is not a link that will link back to anything that I have. But it's something that I signed up for myself because there are so many resources now that people are putting across. They're trying to get information across, and not just about how do I position my restaurant to navigate the COVID-19 crisis. It's really getting back to how do I grow out of this? What are some leadership skills? What are some creative marketing solutions that I can come up with my team, and just basic blocking and tackling for running a good business. So I think people have gotten past we're afraid. How do we minimize our losses or mitigate losses? And they've gotten into let's explode out of the other side of this thing and be stronger than ever. And here are some leadership skills and some management skills and some creative solutions. So that's awesome. I'll put a link in the show notes. Register. There are going to be 7 events in total, and today was the first one. So if you can't watch them live, you can go back. There's a link to go back and watch them. All right, so that is the resource I wanted to talk about. And now, number 3, this is pretty cool. So I got a email today from one of my guys, my transportation manager over at a new warehouse that we purchased, that said, St. John is a small farm town in Washington between Steptoe and Sprague. You may not have heard of either of those two towns. My wife and I drive through sometimes on the way home from WSU football games, and it epitomizes rural America small town feel. This note was left on driver's truck today while he was delivering the Rialto Tavern. Very cool message to our driver and all those who provide the support to get the goods to their town. It also exhibits the spirit of a great community. The note is a picture of our delivery truck that they probably got off of our website, and they printed it out on a piece of paper. And it says, "Thank you. This small town appreciates all that you do for us. You are a hero to us." So, along with this note, Phil, our transportation manager, put a map dot on using Google Maps showing where St. John is. And if you look it up, I mean, it's really out in the middle of nowhere. And this is a part of our normal route. We go out to Eastern Washington. We're all over the place, but this is our normal route. We have been minimizing routes and minimizing deliveries wherever we can with closed restaurants, but we've made sure that we are not giving up on or moving away from any customers throughout this whole process, because they need food, they need products, they need supplies. So most of our customers don't recognize that, and it's okay. This is what we do. Is we just make sure we get supplies and food to whoever needs them, and it's really incredible that somebody took the time to say thank you, to recognize that what we're doing, we're putting ourselves at risk, or our drivers are putting themselves at risk, touching product and going around from bar to restaurant to convenience store, gas station, all of the places that we deliver to, and doing their job. And we don't expect a thank you, or we don't expect somebody to do anything unique or above and beyond, but to get that type of recognition and appreciation, I mean, it's incredible. It's heartwarming. It's just really, really cool to see. So I'm gonna put a picture of this. I'll block my company out because my company's not affiliated with what I do here, but I want to show the note. It's really cool, and it just shows that there are people out there that are really appreciative of what you are doing. So if you're a restaurant that's doing takeout, you know that your customers are appreciative. You know that they're thankful, that they're grateful that you're still providing this service throughout all this crisis. And you, just like my guys, just like my team, are an essential worker. You're essential in this. People need food. People need to know that they are going to be taken care of if they have to stay home, or if they have to evacuate an area, or, God forbid something happens where they just situations happen. Unfortunate situations happen, and the thing that brings us all together, and the thing that we will always need is food. Is food and supplies and things to live our lives. So, or to survive, I should say. So that was really cool. Wanted to share it. And I will put I'll put a little clip. Maybe I'll do that as my background or my thumbnail on the YouTube video. All right, that's it. That's all I got. I'd say the sun is out, but the sun's not out today. That's okay. I'm still gonna go walk around a little bit. Hope you do the same. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, and be safe out there. All right, thanks everybody. See ya.